guess what? Yes, I am. So there we go. That's our nice new piece of foraging equipment, and we've got $60,000 more than we had into the bargain after selling the second-hand harvester. So anyway, yes. So this month, my wife and I had been talking. We planned to go and pay for the what do you call it? The unlimited data plan. And of course they talked to us, and basically for the unlimited data plan, which was $50, if we paid $5 extra, we'd get a boost in speed as well. So we figured, well, we don't need a boost in speed, but it's kind of nice for doing downloads. So we said, yeah, okay, rather than 55 extra or 50 extra, we'll give you 55 extra, and we'll get double speed. And for that, they gave us a bunch of Spanish TV channels, which I'm never going to watch because I don't speak Spanish. And we also got a telephone line, which, well, we don't own a telephone anymore that would plug into a standard telephone socket. So we're kind of stuck there. So, hey, we've got a telephone, but we can't actually plug anything into it. And we got some Spanish TV channels, which we're not going to watch. I mean, we don't watch regular TV for the most part. So having Spanish TV channels on top of that, yeah, whatever. not going to watch those either. But thanks anyway. The speeded up internet, the unlimited data plan is a good thing to have, so that at least we can budget our spend. That's something we're quite big on, is to make sure... No, wrong. That is, I believe, liquid fertilizer, yes. And we will... Whoops. No, forwards and that way. How about that? Yes. So if we know what we're paying for something up front, that's always a good deal. Drop that there. And obviously for internet, I don't really want it to be, well, it could be anywhere between, $70 and $200, depending on how much data we go over. Or it could be $120 only. I'll go with $120 only because it makes... done it again. So as I said, I don't have steering wheel set up. Okay, I'm going to jump over into the... What are you doing there? Seriously? Dude, you need to fix your life. You turned the wrong way, didn't you? Okay. Let's go help her on that again. Must admit, he's been less than reliable on this field. But, jump through it again. Okay. We will... Oh, speed limit 6, yes. Oh, I was actually... Right. We'll stop that there. We'll jump into the tractor so that I have something being broadcast. I'm going to go and check on the kids. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. My wife has returned from her trip to buy kitchen tiling and flooring. The girls are having a strawberry breakfast sandwich, not quite granola bar thing. So, we are doing that. I was in the middle of, I'll jump out there, trying to get the tractor refueled. So, let's do that. And I will get in the cab because...
Where do you always put your shot?
So anyway, yeah, if I get a chance this afternoon or maybe tomorrow, I'll take a look at my entire setup. Obviously, I've got to fix the steering wheel for Farm Sim 17. I have to... I'll check the OBS broadcast software and see what that's set to, and possibly watch some YouTube videos on how to expand the stream, or refine the capabilities that I've got it set up with.
Yeah, but he doesn't have nothing on it.
So, yeah, this truck setup is one that I started right at the beginning of the farm. I have used the AR trucks on Oldstream Farm, and I don't know what the button is. Refuel. Ah, okay. So we will fill the tractors up here. But yeah, I bought the... I'd originally played on... It wasn't Colborough Bar... Chellington. And you started with a lot of fields there, and one of them was a long way from the farm and very large, and I had to figure out a way to resupply seed, fertilizer and diesel. So I started with the IT Runner back in the first year of Farm Sim 17, and when GTX Mods bought out this AR frame pack, which I believe they ported over from 15, they included a fuel tank, a liquid fertilizer tank, augers that I can use for seed and solid fertilizer. So it's all really useful stuff, and since then I've been a strong proponent of using augers to refill seed and fertilizer, and it's something I've done in Marwell Manor. I just bought myself a small auger that I could use to efficiently transport seed from the store, rather than running out to the store and getting 3,000 seed at a time, and using the planter to bring it back. I kind of figured we can instead of that, I will buy an auger wagon which can carry 19,000 litres of seed, and we can bring that all back. Unfortunately, the seed's kind of stuck in the auger to refill. However, obviously what I can do is put the seed into a planter and then unload the planter, which will create big bags of seed, and just do that a couple of times until all the seed is out of the auger, because I am using the auger for unloading the harvester as well. And when you've only got a one auger, that's a problem. When you've got three, like I can afford on this farm, it's not so much of a big deal. I've got the two that fit on these trucks, which I can use for field resupply and do frequently, and they've got a capacity of about 20,000. I don't think I have ever run them at full capacity when it comes to loading them with seed and loading them with fertilizer. I still don't use 20,000 litres in a year. least I don't think I do. I could do, I guess. At least not in one go. I don't. And I didn't pull up far enough. Okay, since I didn't pull the truck up far enough, we'll move the tractor instead. There we go. But then I bought the big auger wagon a couple of weeks ago to service the harvester. Because I figured using an auger to unload into the farm silos was easier than trying to reverse the trailer in. Unfortunately, one thing I didn't consider is the cow farm. The entrance to the silo is a little bit recessed and I can't unload directly from the auger wagon. So what I ended up doing with that one was using the belt system which I'd bought for loading up trucks with sugar beets that I'd harvested recently, last year, and set them up at the silo unload point so I could dump the contents of the auger directly onto the belts and load out or unload into the silos that way. So I'm going to take this. We've still got 9,000 litres on board. Obviously this makes things quite convenient, especially when that set of 3 tractors down in the south field, I've been using them for grass harvest for ages. Press the right button and we'll put this right back where we found it. I don't generally use the fuel tank, I must admit, on this farm. Primarily because each of the 3 farms, the sheep farm, the cow farm and the this main farm, have on-farm supplies of diesel anyway. So I kind of don't need the diesel resupply. So long as I remember whenever I'm in one of the farms and a vehicle is low on gas or diesel that refill as I go past. The thing I don't use on farm is the seed and the fertilizer in general, because that is so darned expensive. It's about 30 to 50%, I believe, more expensive than buying pallets from the store. Which is why I have the red one is the seed supply, the white one is the fertilizer supply, and then this one's the liquid fertilizer supply. And obviously, with fields this size, you kind of need in-field resupply every so often. In the first year, because I couldn't afford everything, I may have used a flatbed trailer with the seed bags dumped on the back of it. Oops, don't reverse into the wall, and turn the engine off. So, that's all done. There's a messy. I believe the animals might need feeding sometime soon. They have enough. Oh shoot, cows are almost out of straw. I should take care of that immediately because they're going to chew through that in no time. I think I've got sufficient here to wait another week before I do that. So we'll save that. We'll jump over to the Valtra. Okay, we missed the Valtra. So that's still going. Well, good job, dude. There's the Valtra. Yeah, that was a bit of a failure, and I'll connect that on the front as well. And fortunately, these are auto-load forks. Did that auto-load? No, that's not auto-loaded. We stabbed it though. So. Fortunately, the side panel still works, so using front loader is not exactly difficult. Yeah, that's looking decidedly empty. Oh, dumped the front loader on top, and that cow's got a little bit upset. There we go. Okay, so that is some straw. Let's take a check on straw levels. We could do with maybe 3 more. Nope, not that one. That one. How do we turn the auto load on? Shop engine, enable automatic loading. Button 5, button 3. And make sure we didn't speed up time while we were at it. Okay. Oops. Oh, that's kind of a problem. You know what's happening? Back up. For some reason, the side panel's joystick has... if I tip the forks, you'll notice the steering wheel turns. So the joystick has somehow become enabled for steering, which is a little bit of a problem. Okay. That's why it's going jerky all over the place. So yeah, I've got big problems with the control setup at the moment. Good morning, Kate Tigress. How you doing? I have been busy with foster kids for the last day or so. Oh, it's on auto. So we just press Z and they drop off. Okay, how are we doing with this? So we could have another bale in there, but no big deal. Pigs need some. I could do them from here. I did drop a supply of straw down at the other farm. We do not have any spare straw now. What we've got is going to have to last us until the end of next summer. So, however, that's what we've got here, and there are, I think, a good supply down at the main yard as well, just for the pigs. But since we're in this tractor, I'm going to take us over to the pig yard and drop some straw off there. As I said, the food will last. It's currently 10:15 of the day, and we are about to get 3 more kids arrive within the next half hour, so I am going to have to call the stream short. Plus, with all the control issues I'm having, I will spend at least part of this week getting Farm Sim 17 set up so that don't tip the straw bales when you're driving. I will have to get Farm Sim 17 configured for using the wheel and side panel, make sure that I haven't messed up Farm Sim 19 at the same time, and play with the OBS settings and see what my stream output is set to right now. I don't know what time Arthur's streaming tonight, and it really depends what time he streams as to whether I'll be joining tonight. We have 2 new foster kids, and the former foster kids will be coming over for today. And I'm just going to drive through the water trough because why not? Because I can. Actually, I think the straw unload point was over here, so I should... That worked. How do piggies find straw? Straw is more than they need, so that's going to last a while. Excuse me, pigs. Oh! Well, he's going to make bacon early. Oh, we're actually, yeah, we're at the point now where we can start making bacon. Okay, what's our cruise control set to? Let's slow that down and we'll run on cruise, so I just have to steer. So yeah, if Arthur streams late, then I may join. If Arthur streams early, then I probably won't be able to. And also K-Tigris, I did stream last night because I was setting up my new cable internet equipment that arrived yesterday afternoon. We now have about a 2.5 times download speed that I had before, and I think upload is increased by about 50% as well. And data usage plan is now unlimited, so I can stream whenever and how often I want without worrying about it costing me a load more money. I really, most of the ISPs give you sort of 1 terabyte of data, and to be fair, yeah, we didn't use 1/3 of that. And then once I started streaming, that ramped up very, very quickly to the point where I'm exceeding 1 terabyte. Right. Okay, you take care, God of Thunder. Yeah, no, Arthur... Simone posted a message on their Facebook page last night, got to be about 10, 11 hours ago, that said, hey, we just got home. We'll stream tomorrow. So that's fine. As it was, yeah, I spent yesterday evening, early evening, installing all the equipment, so I didn't have chance to stream yesterday. And then at about 9 o'clock, I was so tired I wasn't going to stream at all. So, oh, let me back up. And we will drop that down. We'll poke the point spikes through the floor. So, next week, I'm going to call it here. I think we're kind of at a convenient point. We'll jump around each of the tractors. Oh, just noticed the ground has dried out. So until it rains tomorrow, I think tomorrow, we had an overnight storm on this one. So if we might be able to, we should have enough time to completely cut this field. Once again, we're going to silage bale it. And we need to feed the animals. That's not needed until the last day of fall. That's part of this. The sheep are all fed and watered for now, so this farm is good. And we have new tractor working on the digestate cultivation thing. So if we go and look at that field, What we will see here, this is the field we're currently working, so oilseed radish on 29 and 30. If we look at the status, this is growing, this is all cultivated, this has 0 levels of fertilization. This has 2 because we've just fertilized in oilseed radish, and we're dumping or we're cultivating in the digestate from the BGA. So 2 free, not free, but well, the oilseed radish, I can't really plant crops at the moment because it's early fall, and if they start growing before winter they'll be destroyed, so that's a waste. So for seasons I do predominantly plant oilseed radish because I might as well have something in the fields, and the oilseed radish is going to increase my yield by 30%, is it? 25%? I can't remember. It's 30% on Farm Sim 17. So just cultivating that in plus 30% yield. The digestate which I'm getting from the BGA is, I got paid to make that because I sold the silage bales and got digestate in return for free. The tank is quite full. But there you go. So we do that. We plant the field in. We'll probably plant this field come sometime today, probably. Plan is for, we had barley on it, so I'm probably going to put canola on it this time. And probably soy next year, but soy is a late spring plant, so I would then leave the oilseed radish in the ground until spring. And then I'll go out with the solid fertilizer spreader to give us a 3rd level of fertilization. I could use the weeder, but the weeder is slow, and while it's free to use apart from the diesel, not so much. Click save there. So we're going to have to clean up that edge, and there's the whole other side of the field to do as well. We just bought this today, which replaced the Krone Big X 1100 Cargo, because the Cargo has issues. It's a good theoretical mod. Implementation is kind of a problem. And over here, we'll jump out of that, we have our stack of silage bales which I bought up last week, and the BGA tank which we've been draining with the worker on our big field, which is now down to, we've used up about 10%. Maximum fill level on that is 800,000 litres. We're down to 550. So I now have the option of starting to sell these almost immediately, and that will replenish that tank for the remainder of our field work. Now let's jump out, go back again. This tank here is full of digestate from the BGA, and I did 2 trips in that so that I could get this tank loaded. So technically on the side of this field we have enough digestate to keep that tractor supplied with digestate, and had I done it manually I would have been doing that. I'd have cultivated part of the field and then come over and resupplied at least a few times. With the worker, I've got the worker unloading directly from the BGA into the digestate tank, which is why the content isn't going down. And you know, the rationale for that is, this guy's out in the field, and every time he empties the tank he comes over here, replenishes it from either here or here, and I've got another worker that's driving from here out to the BGA and back to replenish the field supply. So I've got all the equipment here to support that premise. I just don't have the efficient ability to do it. Driving that truck between here and the BGA with the keyboard only is going to be a pain in the butt. Had the steering wheel worked, I'd have probably done at least part of it. Part of the field manually and part of the resupply manually, just to show, yes, I can do this, and we have everything we need to be able to do it. Looks like he's done. Is that the lights on, or is that the brake lights are on? And this is our new tractor that we bought last week, which goes along with the other one, really. So we will make that up. Yes. So that was the brake lights were on. I'm just going to drive. I'll leave these for now. I'll come back and do them later when the steering wheel's working. I'll position this over here and get it started on the next section. Go back. Hopefully that's not too far over, and I left a little strip. Let's do that again, shall we? No. Ugh. Reversing's hard enough with a wheel. With a keyboard, it's a real pain. Okay, that's pretty much close enough. So doing this bit myself is actually going to use up... what do I need? This is going to use up some slurry from this tank directly. As soon as we get to there, we'll put the helper on and it will do it itself. It will stop using the slurry in the tank. But when having that equipment down there, I am going to need it, because when I do the touch up at the edge of the fields, that is going to use the contents of that tank. And if anybody didn't know yet, on Lawfolds, this field has the 100 gold nuggets in it. Just this field. So I still haven't collected them. So there's a potential $1 million or £1 million more on this farm. The extra money today came from selling the Big X 1100. We can demonstrate that. Where is it? Forage harvester. Which is this thing, which has a big... oops. Back. Has a big tank on the back, which you dump the silage into, and then it's got a conveyor out the side that will load a truck. The problem is the back end drifted. At least on this map, it would be conflict with other mods I'm running, but it really wasn't behaving itself well. It would slide into walls when it was parked up and not used. When I was unloading it, it would typically slide away from the tipper, so I'd get it half unloaded, and then it's no longer over the edge of the tipper. So we got rid of that. We replaced it with the Big X 580 and a sugarcane trailer. So we've got the high tip capability, and I can then unload into whatever I decide to transport directly from the field. So obviously my preference, playing solo, is I'll run a harvester on the worker, and I'll have tractor and tipper come up alongside to unload it, or a tractor and auger wagon now. We bought that last week as well, or a couple of weeks ago. Run round here. So we got this big auger wagon, which is now available in 19 as a mod on the mod hub, and I use that to service the on-field harvester. which worked well this year. I should have done it a lot sooner. And then, but you can't do that for foraging. But to have either follow the forager around with a tipper, that's all fine and wonderful. But then when you're running the tipper all the way out to wherever you want the chaff stored and back again, the forager's sitting there doing nothing. Obviously, with that Big Eggs mod, the cargo mod, the forager can carry on going until that trailer is full, and you can be back and forward to the field very, very quickly in order to unload it. That's not going to be an option this year, especially since, let's jump to here, get out of the Valtra. Last year I was using this thing, and we got all of our corn forage in there, plus a lot of grass, and the fill level in here is 1.29 million litres of what is now silage. I don't have another silo here, so until I empty that I can't put any more chaff in it, and so we're going to have to run all the way up to the VGA here. And I started, this is a couple of loads of grass, where when the cows needed grass I would go out with a single mower and the forage wagon, fill it up, empty as much as grass as was needed to feed the cows for 3 days, and then I bring the rest of it up here and dump it here. After doing that once, maybe twice, I decided it's a pain to drive all the way out here, so I didn't fill the forage wagon full. I just filled up enough to feed the cows plus a little bit extra, so that I knew the cows were 100% grass. And that's kind of served me. But to do a corn forage and have to drive all the way from the main farm out to here to dump the chaff, I can't just run a straight forage harvester and a tipper alongside on my own. Now, on a multiplay farm where you've got 3 people running convoy between the BGA and here, that wouldn't be much of an issue, but it's just me, so I need to find things that work in single player. I see trees of green. So this area was cut down in my very first year. I pretty much decimated this entire forest, and over the fall I replanted it with trees, and this is as far as they've gotten since the beginning of my playthrough on this. They're still not full height. I'm not sure I'm going to come back here and cut them down, but it'd be interesting to see how far they get, how long it does take to grow. This is 4 full years of growth now. Anyway, where were we up to? So this field's getting fertilised 2 levels. Currently nothing in... Oh, of course, yeah, because this won't need ploughing because we're not harvesting this, we're just cultivating it in. This field and these 4 fields are my corn and soybean fields, which I can't harvest yet because they're not fully grown. Oh, tell a lie. No, that's the crop type. Yeah, they're not fully grown yet, so I've got to wait until they mature. Last day of fall is going to be sunny, so we'll do that then. Meanwhile there, that's there. I don't think I've got any equipment that's desperate. Tell a lie, Valtra T is going to need service. What is it, S710? I'm guessing that's a tipper. Oh no, those are probably the belts. The belts will need a service.
Hi, Mom.
That's going to be a pain. So money today. We spent 600,000 on new vehicles. I believe that's the Silver Class 940, the forage harvester, and the tipper, the high tip sugar beet tip trailer thing. But we did sell the Big X cargo, so that covered 50% of our costs there. Outside of that, we haven't made any other money. Yesterday, harvest income, we made 100,000. We're going to make some more today when we get round to selling the silage, although that's going to appear in biogas plant income. Still need to feed the cows, still need to feed the pigs. The cows have stopped breeding. We still need at least one more to complete the achievement, so I've got to go till at least the first day of summer on year 6. The upshot of that is I'm probably going to be running all the way to the end of fall next year on this playthrough before we decide to call it. At the moment, this farm is going to run for a long time more. Don't have any eggs to collect because we played that mini game already. We have used 79,000 litres of fertiliser, so that must be the digestate that we've already used today. That's a lot. So I'm going to call it here. We've got kids arriving imminently. The stream might be up and down over the afternoon as I get a chance to review the playthrough setting, or review the OBS settings and the stream settings and test stuff like that. It won't be a proper stream, it'll just be me testing things out. But if I have people online, I may talk to you. As it is, everybody have a good weekend. I may be back tonight with Arthur, depending on when he's streaming and my availability with people in the house. Again, after 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, there might be a stream, but no guarantees. Monday is my general commitment to World of Warships. The Warships stream will start after 8 o'clock because that's the kids' bedtime. And I have edited the information on, if you're using Twitch, regular Twitch, schedule below has been updated to show that I am 8 PM Monday World of Warships, Estancia Lapacho Farm Sim 19 on Tuesday, Wednesday's my day off, Thursday will be ATS this coming week from 8 o'clock, and Friday will be Farm Sim 19. I need to update that because it's not Ravenport anymore, from 8 o'clock. Now if Arthur decides to stream multiplayer early, I will not be able to join until after 8 o'clock. Saturday will be Lawfolds as and when I can fit it in. I may start earlier than normal, I've said about 9 o'clock, but I may start earlier, I may start later, and it really depends on what everybody else in the house is doing. Up until this week, my wife liked to have a sleep in on Saturday morning, so that was my opportunity to do Farm Sim 17 for as long as I needed to until we had to go out shopping or whatever. But now we have a change in family circumstances. It's as and when we can fit it in. So this is me signing off. I will save that here, and I will say have a good weekend. Oh, come on. Of course, Farm Sim 17 takes over. Come on. Finish loading so I can exit. Okay, so this is me signing off. Have a good weekend, and I will definitely see you Monday evening unless something disastrous happens.